Hello everyone, welcome back to Head Start. Today we're gonna go over 3 common mistakes that usually happen when we are practicing our forehand. Let's get started. The first thing we should focus on is our grip. Our grip shouldn't look like this. Hammer grip is not what we're after here. Instead, it should look like this, forming a 90-degree angle. This way, when we are hitting the ball, the point of contact is the sweet spot of the racket every time. This is really important for the moment our racket makes contact with the ball. If your grip looks as if you were holding a hammer, it's really difficult to hit the ball and give it topspin at the same time. But if you hold it in a 45-degree angle as we showed, not only you're gonna hit the ball with the sweet spot of the racket every time, but you're also going to hit it in such a way that you're putting topspin without much effort. So the first problem has to do with the height of the ball. People tend to hit the ball no matter where it is in the air, and this results in 2 mistakes: hitting the ball higher than it needs to be and hitting the ball lower than it needs to be. The correct thing to do is to wait until the ball reaches the height of your waist. When the ball coming at you reaches your waist height, you know it's time to hit it. The second problem is about bending your knees. You should always bend your knees when you're positioning yourself to hit the ball. Now it is really obvious that you should bend your knees while hitting a forehand, but most of the times players are so focused about winning the point that they forget about it. You should never be standing still like this when hitting a ball. Instead, you should bend your knees to hit the ball from down up, giving it height. The third and final mistake has to do with how fast you open your racket. The timing here is key because if you open up too late, you won't have enough time to hit the ball. You should open your racket really early, almost when you see the opponent hitting the ball. When you see the opponent hitting, you open up your racket, you take your time, you position yourself correctly, and when it's time, you hit the forehand. The opening should look like this. You're giving a little push with your non-dominant hand, and you open up forming an arc while moving towards the ball. So you're waiting, and as soon as the opponent hits the ball, you check, you open up while making steps to reach the ball, you bend your knees and you hit. Let's see it. What is also very important, apart from the 3 things we showed, is to follow through. Meaning to finish off your forehand and not do it halfway. Many tennis players are in a hurry while playing a point, so they're not taking time to finish off at the end. This is incorrect. You should always finish off at the end with a follow through. The final tip for a good, solid forehand is hitting the ball with the sweet spot of the racket every time. After opening early as we showed, when your racket makes contact with the ball, you should snap your wrist a little bit, as if you were trying to scrape it. By doing this, you achieve 3 things: A. Finding the sweet spot of the racket, B. Giving the ball topspin, and C. Making it go upwards, giving height to your ball and thus avoiding hitting the net. Here we can see the correct motion of the hand during a forehand. And now let's see some forehands with all 3 things applied.